So could you tell us a bit about how HP is leveraging AI across its portfolio?
Sure. So everybody may have heard of this little thing called AI. And lots of companies are trying to use AI to move into the future and to get more profits, do more with their company, with their employees, make things more efficient and everything like that. So behind all of this great AI technology is actually somebody like me that has to program and to create all of this AI. And that's a lot easier said than it is to do, because creating AI and machine learning in a meaningful way isn't the easiest thing in the world. Data is everywhere. It's on our phones, it's on our computers, it's in the cloud, it's in the data center, it's everywhere. All of our resources in our compute is distributed everywhere. Whenever we do want to work together as a team to make AI, none of our tools match each other, and we spend an enormous amount of time doing that. So what Z by HP has done is to help accelerate the development of AI and machine learning with Z by HP AI Studio. So we'll see here, I have an admin view of everything that we're doing with AI within my team. So I have all the projects that are here, where they are at in the project, some of the models that are being used, the people that are in there, and everything like that. So from an admin view, I can help to prioritize the AI projects and machine learning projects that we have going on within the organization, and see exactly how everything is being utilized. So now let's create a project, and I'll show you kind of how this works. So today we'll be looking at medical treatment, and we'll be using a natural language processing model to do a named entity recognition, extraction, and question answering the NEMO framework. So once I've given this a description, told it what I'm gonna do, I add my GitHub repository, my local Git folder, add any of these tags like we saw on the front with what version of language we're using or anything like that, and I hit continue. Now the next step here is I start to add assets, right? So part of the whole recipe for creating AI is you need some sort of algorithm, data, and compute in order to do that. So right here, we'll see that we have our data, and here's an example of something in an S3 bucket from AWS, something on the C drive local to my computer, and then something on a networked drive as well. So this lets you know that we can take data from anywhere. Doesn't have to just be on AWS or GCP or Azure. We can pull data from everywhere, okay? Next, we need some sort of algorithm or something to help make it work. And we've integrated NVIDIA's GPU cloud, or NGC, and some of their models in here, like the BioMegatron model, that you can add to your project, so you don't even have to create the algorithm either. You just attach your data, the model, and then we can move on with our project. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get those added. Next, I add my team members, give them a role within the team of this project, and then I create the project. And this is probably the beauty of this software, is these workspaces. Before, whenever my team wanted to work on a project, we had to decide what version of Python we're going to use, what version of TensorFlow, what version of cuDF from NVIDIA, and all of these different things. And then we had to all go and set it up. Took forever. It really cut back on the amount of scale that we can do with our projects. So now I can just add NGC, I can go to a custom workspace, set up this workspace the way that it needs to be set up, and now whenever my team logs into it, they don't have to mess with any of that. All they have to do is go in here and program. So we'll get that selected, we'll name the workspace, and then we'll create it. So now that I'm in this workspace, I can go directly into Jupyter Notebooks, and all of that model and that data that I just selected in the previous step is now ready to go in Jupyter Notebooks and ready to start training a model. While it's training a model, I can monitor it with MLflow or TensorBoard, and when I'm done, it's got to go somewhere, right? So we can wrap it up into what's called a container and send it on its way in order to do that. So this really helps accelerate all of these cool AI and machine learning tools that our customers want to make that are struggling to do that today. So that's Z by HP AI Studio. And what we have here is our Z8 Fury, what my customers refer to as the Beast, because it has 4 of NVIDIA's Ada 6000 graphics cards in there for 192 gig of VRAM, which is super powerful for running large language models and different things like that. And as a matter of fact, today we are running a large language model locally from the Mistral 7 model. It's all running locally on this machine. It's not pulling any information out of there. And it can query an insane amount of data. This does the processing of the large language model about 23% faster than they were doing in the cloud at a much significant cost. The people using this have already saved tens of thousands of dollars, and they've only had it for a couple of months. And that's compared to doing the same calculation in the cloud, which you will need to wait for a result for that to come back. So what this is actually doing is it's pulling a bunch of data from Africa here, and farm data in specific. And when I click on one of these farms in here, we'll see all of the different landscape of the farm. But as generative AI, right, we can ask it a question and it's going to give us answers from the data that it has. So it's went in and it's looked at all of this historical data of all of these farms here in Africa, and it's going to give us a recommendation of what we should use for soil, the pH balance that the soil should be in, what crop selection we should use based on historical data of what's worked and what's not worked in this region. It also has irrigation management. So as you can imagine, in Africa, water is a precious resource, probably more valuable than gold. So managing that resource is a big thing. So all of this historical data can help us with the irrigation management, as well as what fertilizer that we should use in this environment. So you can see the power of taking a lot of data and to be able to ask it a question to get a meaningful answer back that we can then go and intelligently go and work to grow our crops in an efficient manner and not have them fail, which is the biggest thing.
So is this an example of AI being on the device as well as connected to the cloud?
Yes, so it's not connected to the cloud at all, so it's all here. And this is what we would call inferencing. Right. So when I clicked on a thing, it's inferencing all of this information and giving us an answer back.